Our top stories today, of course, center around the election and the results. Not all yet in, but the Secretary of State Phil McGrain calls it a smooth election day for polling spots, with the biggest issue, if you see it as an issue, some people see it as a positive, would be lines now and then.
A record amount of Idahoans turning out, 84.3%, with over 900,000 votes cast statewide. And now that's before day of registrations. Idaho had nearly 1.1 million voters. We'll see these numbers rise as they count those voters in. Proposition 1 was one of the most contentious items on the ballot this year. People on both sides put up signs and billboards for and against the initiative.
The majority of voters, 69%, still saying no. If passed, this Proposition 1 would have changed Idaho elections fundamentally at this point to open primaries and also ranked choice voting.
Now, the Caldwell School District asking for $4.1 million to help pay for transportation costs, facility maintenance, and school safety. It passed with just over 55% approving. The Kuna School District's $3.6 million supplemental levy also passing with 59% in favor. The district said the funds will help them maintain staff and provide essential services.
And former President Donald Trump, now once again president-elect. Republicans celebrating flipping the Senate and keeping the House red as well. Here at our Statehouse, the GOP expanding its supermajority, flipping 4 crucial seats. In response, the Idaho Democratic Party Chair Lauren Necochea worries, calling the outcome deeply troubling and warning programs like launch scholarships and Medicaid expansions could be in jeopardy. She says conservative political forces are shifting the state even further to the right, but also says Idaho Democrats should be proud of their efforts, and she promises to continue to work even harder and fight in the next election cycle. The GOP sending a short note to voters, saying Idahoans had the privilege of witnessing and being a part of Trump's second-term comeback, and they promise a more in-depth message to supporters later this week.
Boise Mayor Lauren McClain says right now is a time for unity, no matter which side of politics you align with. She says, quote, "We have the privilege of living in a country where elections are safe, free, and secure. The privilege that in our local level elections, we get to vote for our community members, neighbors, and friends that uphold our values and represent us in local government. So today, let's move forward with the knowledge that we have each other," unquote. Now, presidents are only allowed to serve 2 total terms.
So national correspondent Kayla Gaskins looks ahead at what's next for Trump.
Please welcome President-elect Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump using his victory speech in the early hours of Wednesday morning as a look to the future.
We're going to make this so great.
Once in office, he's promised to tackle top issues he campaigned on, such as fighting inflation, fixing the economy, and securing the border.
We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally.
Trump has also promised to increase tariffs, a move he says will boost domestic production. Critics, though, fear it will make inflation worse as the cost gets passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. Trump also taking a moment during the victory speech to highlight those who helped him win.
Unbelievable people standing by my side. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people.
Those who stood by him could be potential cabinet members, such as Elon Musk, Democrat turned Republican Tulsi Gabbard, and billionaire Vivek Ramaswamy. Trump giving a special thanks to his vice president-elect, J.D. Vance.
He's turned out to be a good choice.
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me.
Trump's main goal, he says, is to undo all of President Biden's policies and pick up where he left off 4 years ago. In West Palm Beach, Florida, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
And now for our national question of the day. Why do you think Donald Trump won? Economy or inflation, border and immigration, experience, or because you think he would change Washington? If you have a smartphone, go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen right now, or you can head to idahonews.com/question to cast your vote. We'll be sharing those results with you a little bit later in the newscast.
All right, let's switch over to a look outside. This is the ice rink still in the process of being built there in Caldwell. We've got some freezing temperatures. We're all waking up with frost, but no snow in the valley yet.
And first, we have this week's Boise State game as well. Roland taking a look, so you may know how many layers of orange and blue to put on, Roland.
I think it's actually going to be getting warmer before kickoff time Saturday at 6 p.m. Now, it has been cold at night. We've been seeing overnight lows dropping down into the 20s. And with the clear skies that we have, this could invite a bit of an inversion. And that means we could start seeing some areas of fog developing during the late night and during the morning. Otherwise, the blazing sunshine you see is what we're going to get. Look at the extent of the high pressure. It goes all the way up into central Canada, all the way down into Mexico, and all the way out into the Pacific Ocean. So as long as this high is in place, a storm track steers away. It's going to be in place through at least Saturday. Lows tonight, 26 degrees. Some patchy areas of fog in the morning. And then tomorrow, blazing sunshine again with high temperatures on the cool side for sure at 49 degrees. And I'll go ahead and say it right now. Everything looks great for the football game Saturday evening. But as the sun sets, the temperatures will start to drop fairly quickly. So you'll probably want to bundle up. We'll have more with the 7-day outlook when the storm track returns in just a few minutes.
The execution of Thomas Creech on hold, not happening next week. A federal judge ordering a temporary stay. Creech, the longest-serving death row inmate in the state with nearly half a century. He's convicted of 5 murders, 3 in Idaho, and claims dozens more. This after the state Supreme Court dismissing his latest appeal after his February execution failing, when medical staff couldn't find a vein for lethal injection. His attorneys say another attempt violates his rights and would be cruel and unusual punishment. Yesterday, the federal judge pausing his punishment to give the state Supreme Court time to consider its final ruling on his habeas corpus. The Death Penalty Information Center notes Creech as the first Idaho prisoner to survive an execution date and just the 6th in the country with injection as the means. Attorney General Raul Labrador refusing to share his reaction to our newsroom. The Idaho Department of Corrections pausing execution preparations, sending Creech back to his prior housing block. The IDOC's death warrant will expire again. The first warrant expired when the department didn't have the drugs. Since firing squad added as an execution backup, but the department says it's set with the drugs needed.